Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steve. This is Number One Studios, and I'm sitting down comfortably in my chair. I got my legs crossed. I am still getting used to this setup. For you new people, this setup is new to me, so, I'm still getting used to the camera angles, lighting, things like that. But one thing I do like is that my legs are crossed and I have my arm resting on my knee right now. So I wanted to add 3 watches to my collection this year. And if you haven't seen my video on how to save for a watch, I'm gonna go ahead and post it up there. One of the points was to get a pile of money, to get a watch fund per se, and use that money whenever you found a good deal on the watch that you're looking for. So the 3 watches I wanted to add to my collection were the Seiko 5 GMT, the Tissot PRX in green, which I have right here. Review coming for this, and the deluxe rubber strap coming soon. So I actually just recorded that. And the Bulova Lunar Pilot 43mm. I added all 3 of those watches to my collection, and I couldn't have done that without making that watch fund. So since I added those watches to my collection, I figured I might as well make a video listing the watches that I eventually want to add, realistic watches that I want to add. I will make a Grail watch video later on, but right now we're going to focus on watches that I can realistically purchase. Now there's going to be more than just Rolex and Omega and things like that. There's going to be watches from smaller brands and brands that you might not even heard of. So if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button down below and that subscribe button. It really does help the channel. All right, let's roll that intro and get started with the video. All right, let's go ahead and get the Rolex out of the way because I know everyone has a Rolex on their list, whether they like to admit it or not. The Rolex that I want to add to my collection is the Polar Dial Explorer 2, reference 226570. This watch just absolutely fucks. I don't know how better to describe why I want this watch. The Polar Dial, GMT hand in orange, stainless steel bezel, and it's Rolex's under the radar watch. Not a lot of people have a desire for this watch. I don't understand why not, but hey, better for me. I have a better chance of getting this at retail, and even in the secondary market, it's not that much higher than the MSRP. Anyways, let's move on to another tool watch. It is the Zen U1, fully tegimented. I love this thing. This is the tool watch of tool watches. With it being fully tegimented, I can't say that word. Fully tegimented. Fully tegimented. I have it written down right here. Fully tegimented. Stainless steel. It is not going to scratch. It's going to look brand new after years of wear. I beat up my watches, so they're going to scratch all the time. But this Zen, it just looks like a behemoth on the wrist, and I love bigger watches. I'm a bigger guy, so I'll have my Mechanicos, and it just sits nice on the wrist. I love that presence, and with it being like this muted stainless steel texture and finishing, it actually is going to be a little bit more hidden. It's not going to be like a 90s, 2000s Breitling where everything is big and it's polished. So it's like a mirror on your wrist. It's going to be just muted and it's going to be there and you're going to beat it up and it's going to look freaking amazing. I love it. And the next behemoth watch I want to add is the Panerai Luminor base logo, the PAM 1086. I've always wanted to add a Panerai to the collection. I just love the stance it has, the bold design. It's only meant to tell the time. It's amazing. I love that thing. There's just so many options when it comes to Panerai. Some have GMT, small seconds hands, all these things. Let me just get the Luminor base with the crown guards, with those nice leather straps. To me, it's one of the better looking watches Panerai has to offer, and it's the entry level model. So like, why not buy it? So it's one of those things that it's just the perfect storm of price and availability, and I'm just saving up, gonna look for a good deal, and I'm gonna pull the trigger on one when I can. All right, let's take a break from the humongous watches for a second and move on over to a micro brand that I have fallen in love with. Now, this company only makes a limited amount of watches per year, but they are 100% Swiss made, and I just love the overall presentation. down to the box that this watch comes in. Everything is custom made. I absolutely love it. It is the brand Leventure. Now, like I said, this watch is 100% Swiss made. They have made their own proprietary movements, their own chronograph movement. And the watch I want to add to the collection is any watch from this brand. It is a very limited release. I love their automobile. I love their Marine 2 with that gold dial. I think this brand is highly underappreciated and doesn't get the love it deserves. So if I ever have the opportunity to even review one of these watches, I'm jumping on it because I want to get my hands on this watch. I just need to bite the bullet and make the purchase because, man, these watches are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. And I think it's worth the risk to just blindly purchase this watch. Next up on the list is the IWC Ingenieur. And my God, this is like the perfect mix of beauty and like industrial. As you guys know, I am a big sucker for integrated bracelet watches. I'm wearing my PRX right now. Now I have it on this rubber strap, so, kind of defeats the purpose of the integrated bracelet. But I love the integrated bracelet design. I have the Tudor, I have this PRX, I have the Seiko SNKK52, and this one is that perfect mix of industrial beauty. I just love the exposed screws. I love the curves. I love the polishing. I love the brushing. One of the best releases that I have seen from IWC. Another watch that has that perfect mix of industrial beauty is the Bulgari Octofinissimo in titanium, reference 102713. I love the color scheme of this watch, with it being that muted titanium, those black indices with the 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom, the small seconds at the bottom left of the dial, and it's only 5.1 millimeters thick. It is one of the most perfect sport watches if your wrist can actually fit this watch. And since I do have a 7.5-inch wrist, I think I could pull it off. The only issue is that I need to try it on, and it is kind of expensive. I think it's the most expensive watch on this list at 15 grand. Would I buy a few other of the watches that are on this list before I bought this? I don't know. I don't know. It's a toss-up for me. And moving on to something a bit more affordable, it is the Weiss 42mm field watch, specifically the one with the white dial and the olive strap. I think the color combo really works well. I love that this watch is partially made in the United States. I think at least the case is made in the United States. He has a factory tour that I actually want to go down and see what exactly is made. I'm waiting for a full American-made watch from him, if that's possible. I understand that there's a lot of things that go into play there. I want the most American watch possible. And I love the design of the 42mm field watch. I like the small seconds head at the 9 o'clock. I think it really looks unique, and I really appreciate a watch that is made at least partially in America. I love the story behind it. But with that being said, I need to make my way down to Nashville, go to the workshop tour, and maybe I'll just buy one from Cameron himself. This next watch I've been wanting for a few years, but right now it's the flavor of the month. Everyone seems to want this watch now, and it's put me off a little bit. It is the Cartier Santos de Cartier. The one I want is the two-tone with the white dial. Once again, this watch has that balance of industrial beauty. It has the curves. It has the exposed screws. It has the Roman numerals. It just looks so good. And my wrist is too big to wear a tank. It's just, I have a 7.5-inch wrist. It's just too big. This tank's not going to look good. This version comes with that beautiful bracelet. It also comes with the leather strap option. So if I want to dress this up, I can definitely do that. With it being two-tone, I think you can pull it off in a number of different ways. My two-tone Tudor Royal, I was wearing it today with this t-shirt out for breakfast. You could dress it up, you could dress it down, and you could do the same thing with this Cartier. But everyone has this watch now. Everyone I look up and down the street, no one around me actually has the Santos. But every watch reviewer I see has the Santos, and it's one is just like, well, I don't want to get one just because everyone else has one, but I've wanted one way before anyone else bought one. Next up is a watch that really no watch reviewer owns. It is the Breitling Chronomat B01. Oh my God, with that rouleau bracelet. Every time I watch Seinfeld, I see Jerry with his vintage Chronomat, and I just want it. I just want it, right? So let me get this one. It is a new version, a little bit bigger. It comes with the B01 movement. I think it looks beautiful. I've tried it on. I've tried this one on and the Super Chronomat. It's the bigger one, the 46mm maybe. There's definitely a bunch of different dial variations. You can do the emerald green, you can do the white. The one I personally want is the Japan limited edition blue dial and black sub registers. I think it looks really good. I don't know. I think it looks phenomenal. I love that bracelet. And last but not least are the 2 Omegas I want to add to the collection. Now, there was a third Omega on here. I decided to take it off because I didn't want to have this list overrun by Omega. So the 2 Omegas I want to add to my collection are a Ploprof and a Skywalker. Let's start off with the X33 Skywalker, and I'm a sucker for any digi watches, and that's probably why I bought the Breitling B1. Something about having those digital displays and the analog display on top of it, it just looks phenomenal. If they were going to send someone to the moon right now, they wouldn't use a Speedmaster. They would use the X33 Skywalker. They even have the X33 Mars timer, which, I mean, I guess if I'm going to go to Mars, I only have one option. Actually, no, Fortis has a Mars watch. I've got 2 options. I'd rather have the Omega anyways. But it's big, it's titanium. I love the way it looks. I love the functionality behind it. I need to add one to the collection. I don't even know why. I should just buy the X33. I should just do it. Like, I'm drooling right now thinking about it. But I do got to buy a Ploprof. The Ploprof. That watch. Oh my God. There's probably like 2 people on this planet that love the Ploprof as much as I love it. The Ploprof is just so unique. The case design, the button for the bezel, the shark mesh bracelet. It is way over-engineered, and there's so many watches that can go deeper now. It's just kind of pointless. I just love the way it looks. It looks like a Power Rangers bracelet on my wrist. It's going to weigh like 500 grams probably. I have no idea because I want the stainless steel version. I do not want the titanium version. I just love big watches. I love tool watches. I just love big industrial tool watches. I think that's from this list, that's what you can gather. I just love big industrial tool watches. You guys keep those vintage 33 millimeter Rolexes and leave the big watches to my wrist. All right, guys, what do you think of the watches in my list? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know which watches you realistically want to add to your collection. I really want to hear that down in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button and the like button. Push this video out to the YouTube gods. That way more eyes get drawn to my channel and I become the next Nico or whoever. All right, guys, I'm going to pop up a couple of videos here. Click on one of them. Click on this one because why not? Or this one. No, this one. This one. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.